Once upon a time, in a not-so-distant future, the world found itself on the brink of a catastrophic event, the water wars. It was a time when the scarcity of water had reached unprecedented levels and nations were willing to go to any length to secure their survival. For years, the effects of climate change had steadily depleted the world's freshwater sources. Rivers ran dry, lakes turned into desolate wastelands, and underground aquifers were drained faster than they could replenish. The once abundant resource had become a precious commodity, sparking conflicts and tensions among nations desperate to control the dwindling supply. In this water-starved world, people struggled to survive. Crops withered in the parched fields, and animals perished from dehydration. The rich retreated into fortified enclaves, hoarding water for themselves, while the poor suffered the most, enduring thirst and anguish in the sweltering heat. As the situation worsened, governments turned to increasingly drastic measures. Diplomacy failed, and peaceful negotiations gave way to threats and posturing. Border disputes over rivers and reservoirs escalated into armed conflicts, with nations launching attacks to seize control of vital water sources. The water wars spread like wildfire, engulfing the globe in a storm of violence and devastation. Powerful nations waged war against weaker ones, employing their military might to gain control over every drop of water they could find. Desperation and survival instincts blurred the lines of morality, and atrocities were committed in the name of quenching the insatiable thirst for water. But as the battles raged on, it became painfully clear that there would be no winners in this war. The destruction caused by the water wars was unimaginable. Cities were reduced to rubble, fertile lands turned into barren wastelands, and countless lives were lost. The very resource they fought for had become polluted, rendering it unfit for consumption. Society, as people knew it, crumbled under the weight of this relentless conflict. Basic necessities became luxuries, and the bonds of humanity eroded. People were reduced to desperate scavengers, fighting over a few drops of contaminated water. The once thriving civilizations were reduced to mere fragments of their former glory. It was a bitter irony that in their quest for survival, humanity had pushed itself closer to the brink of extinction. The water wars had consumed everything, leaving a scarred and desolate world in their wake. The consequences of humanity's folly were starkly evident. A shattered planet, devoid of hope and any semblance of a prosperous future. In the end, the water wars taught humanity a harsh lesson, an irreversible one. They learned that cooperation, conservation, and sustainable practices were the only way to ensure a future where water would be abundant and accessible for all. But it was too late. As the last remaining drops of water slipped through their fingers, the world stood united in its realization that the water wars had left them all defeated. There were no winners, only the tragic legacy of a world that failed to recognize the value of this precious resource until it was too late. Subscribe.